It is April 28th, 2020. We're here in the garage of 6186 Stetson Place in San Diego, California, 92122. We've got our laundry drain right here with our standpipe and then a utility sink that's been branched in. Right outside of the laundry we have our kitchen right here. We did take off the clean out plugs, both the kitchen and the laundry. We'll show the kitchen one shortly. The metal threads just gave way over time, which is normal, so they have a plastic rubber expansion plug in there for now. So we have original 2-inch cast iron, a little bit of buildup at the opening right there, but we can still get our 1-inch camera through. So this is all original 2-inch cast iron pipe. See a little bit of lint caught up inside of the line. That's going to be normal. Got a little bit of standing water in the line. We did not run any water through this. We did run through the kitchen and flushed all the 3 bathroom toilets because the place is vacant. So we wanted to get water in the pipe to show if there's any sags or bellies in the line. So this 2-inch line for the kitchen, for the laundry here is clear, and it's going to be coming up to the T-junction where it picks up the kitchen. So that's the kitchen line right here. We did have the kitchen water running earlier. So this is the T-junction where they become one pipe. There may be some debris in here. We may have to run water, just depending if there's a lot of food or buildup in there. It gets in front of the camera lens, but so far it's clear. So normal 2-inch pipe, a little bit of buildup, but for cast iron, this is exactly what we'd expect. And this 1-inch camera is traveling easily through there. A little bit of buildup on this turn right here. See if we can push through this. Looks like there's a piece of a cap or something in there. Yeah, there's a green cap to something. So somebody got this down, probably the utility sink drain. Something that large typically is not going to make it by a kitchen, especially obviously when there's a disposer or a strainer, unless before it was redone at some time the kitchen sink didn't have a catch. So you can see we've got this plastic green cap now in the line. We're going to have to see if we can push this out so we can continue our inspection. If not, this is going to have to be removed somehow. So this is lodged in the piping here, as you can see. And now we've got some debris in our area here. So we're going to pause the video for 1 second, turn on the cold water for the kitchen. Okay, so we've got water running. So here it comes by the camera right now. We'll clean off our lens, and we'll see if this somehow moves the item there. Doesn't look like it's going to, probably. It was quite large, and we did look in the kitchen. It is a single compartment with just a disposer, and then we looked at the old utility sink original, and it does not have any type of strainer, and we'll show that when we pull out here. So we've got this water running, so the water is moving down the system right now. So now we'll see if the camera can continue to push through here. Doesn't look like it. We're still stuck at that spot there. So that plastic bottle cap is lodged in the line approximately 24 feet from the clean out of the laundry that we entered through. I'm going to back up here a little bit more. The water's cascading by. We're going to go ahead and move a little bit closer to the cap again. We're going to go ahead and shut the kitchen off so we can see how this is settled in the line. Okay, so the water is off. We're just waiting for it to slowly reside here and drain down like you see right there. So again, there you can see we have this large cap stuck in the line. Typically when it's relatively close, we can superheat up a cable, insert the cable, and it'll burn into it, and we can sometimes retrieve it, but this is too far down the line. and with any moisture in the line this far away, it's going to cool the cable before you could even get even close to this. So this is either going to have to be kind of drilled out essentially with a very heavy cable, possibly a sectional where you can use high RPM and hope that it kind of chews into it and maybe breaks it a little bit, and or the toughness of that actually can push it through the rest of the pipe. Obviously the camera is just manually being pushed. A steel cable with force may continue to push it all the way out, and that's what would need to be done, and then it'll have to be re-inspected, of course, after that point to confirm that no little shards or that the whole amount of it has been removed from the system. So water is still draining by there, but this green plastic cap is going to need to be removed. So before we pull out and show the laundry sink drain and the other little opening for the kitchen we want to show, we're going to go ahead and pause the video and locate and mark where this is at underground under the slab of the house. Okay, so we've gone ahead and located the drain pipe here where this green cap from a bottle has gotten flushed into the system by someone, and the pipe is right about a 1.5 feet deep, so it's right about 18 inches deep. We do have it marked out where it's passing the dining living room area and then goes underneath the little storage area that's under the stairs. So we're going to go ahead and pull our camera back out. We're going to show all the connections from this kitchen laundry and then show that spot where we've marked with some green tape on inside the house. Okay, so we just pulled out from the laundry right there. We came on over here to the utility sink. We do now see that the drip line, which is a regenerative line from this Culligan softening system, is dripping constantly. So you can see there's constant water right here in the utility sink coming out of that 1/2-inch pipe. That's not normal. It's supposed to just stop after it does this regenerative cycle. It shouldn't be constant dripping, so it's obviously wasting water. That's also why we had water inside the laundry drain pipe there, sitting there all the time. So here's the drain we were referring to, this old concrete sink. There's literally no cover, and I mean, literally there's a battery sitting in here. So obviously things have fallen down in through there, and that's why, and obviously where that one object must have come from. So we're going to pause and just move over and show the kitchen clean out really quick. Okay, so we've just moved over here to the kitchen, or outside the kitchen window. We do have a 2-inch cast iron clean out access here, just like the laundry was set up. This plug is a plastic threaded plug, and it literally took about 1/4 of a turn to unscrew, because just like the laundry, there's really no threads left. It barely was holding on. And then as you can see right here, the kitchen line is completely clogged up right there. Now this is the T-junction access, so what happens is a lot of food and debris that's falling down the vertical before it makes a horizontal, it kind of globs up there. So the kitchen is draining fine, and obviously you can see the water when we were in the laundry drains across, and it's not even backing up even with that object in there. This is just indicative though that this line here is going to probably need snaking as well when that object is tried to be cleared out. This should be opened up as well from this spot until the T-junction where we caught the laundry, because it probably has a lot more other buildup and deposits of food and grease inside the line. But again, we're not even going to try to stick our camera through here, because one, the object's farther down the line, it's not going to help, and we could actually cause a full stoppage right here with all that buildup if we have to push it down the line. We're just here to camera, not do any snaking and cleaning. So we just wanted to go ahead and show that. So we're going to put that plug back. Also, because again, this plug is barely being held on by any viable threads, it'll probably need another rubber expansion plug like they're using for the laundry once this is cleaned out possibly, but it might take again after it's cleaned up a little bit. So we're going to pause and move over to the bathrooms. Okay, so right before we start going to try to get into the main sewer, again, here's the kitchen, here's our living room and dining area here. So this green tape here, right by this bookcase, this line denotes the path of the kitchen laundry drain line. You obviously see that taped X there as well. That's exactly where that green cap is. And then right around the corner from here, right across from the doorway entrance, this is the stairway closet underneath here, and so we've marked that with the green tape as well, which is just a straight line that continues. But anyway, that's where the pipe is, about 1.5 feet deep. So if for some reason it could not be extracted or broken up and pushed down the line and dumped into the main sewer, then that's where you literally would have to dig up the pipe to do a repair. So you could probably do it from the closet side and trench backward underneath, so you would not have to do any digging inside this room, do it all from under the stairs and dig back those few inches to get at the pipe. So we're now going to go ahead and pause and move over to the bathroom. Okay, so we're now here in the downstairs bathroom. Again, we found no sewer cleanouts for the property itself, so we have a special camera here that sometimes can make it through a toilet bowl and continue quite far down the line. So we're going to give the first one a try that we have. We have 2 different ones. Here's where the bowl is going to dump in. We're going to flush some water to help try to get through this last turn right here. Okay, so we made that initial turn. We're now in the cast iron sewer main for this downstairs bathroom, just off the toilet. Now it's going to be the issue whether or not we can continue really far down the line. So as we travel across, we come to this cast iron T-junction, which is going to be a probable turn here, both for the vent tie-in as well as even a directional change. So we may not get very far down this system. So we have 3 bathrooms. We have 2 more bathrooms vertically directly above this downstairs bathroom. We have the hall bathroom, and then back to back, side to side essentially, is the master bathroom. But everything is essentially directly above this bathroom. So we have 2 stories. We don't know if we're going to be able to get up on the roof of that second story to try to come down the vent pipe to get this system cameraed or not. It does not look like this camera is going to make the turn right there. So we again have to make a full 90-degree turn at this T-junction where it ties into the vent and then continues down for the drain. We're going to flush the toilet one more time, see if we can work behind this area. No, it's just not going to do it. Plus after this we'd have to go a really long way out to get the rest of the main inspected. So we're going to go ahead and look to see if we do have access somehow to put up a couple ladders to get down the roof vent. If not, we have one other camera that we'll try to put through this toilet, see if it can possibly make a lot of these turns and travel down the system, but probably not. Now this camera is not self-leveling, so you can actually see the image on the top of the screen is where the water is by, so kind of self-correcting there, but that's where it's got to make that 90-degree turn, and it continues up for the vent. We're going to pause the video. Okay, so we set up a couple ladders and we've gotten up on the rooftop here. Here we have a 2-inch vent. This is original DWV copper actually. A lot of cobwebs there. A little turn on the system there. Now entering the horizontal run of the sewer main here. Cameras flip-flopping, there we go. So we're now inside the cast iron sewer main. We have a little T-junction right there, and it's quite possible that there is an original 2-way clean out just outside the house. Typically the original builders, we can't use them now, but they would put in a 2-way cast iron fitting that when you take the cap off it lets you go in either direction. If it's shallow, then it's easy to get your cable or camera to turn in either direction, especially if it's full of water and you can't see. Otherwise it's difficult, and that's why these are not code anymore. We're not allowed to use them. We'll locate that because it could also be a drop inside the house where something's dumping into, but it looks straight vertical, so could be that. So cast iron so far looks really good. Obviously all original, a little bit of deposits and scale build up, but nothing too heavy so far. A little bit of mounding, as you can see there on the bottom, left and right. Here we have a 45-degree turn on the line, so it's Again, minimal buildup so far, not too bad. Nothing that requires any type of maintenance or jetting. Okay, we have an ABS repair right here. So maybe there's some cleanouts in the front yard we didn't see, or they got buried, or maybe they were just doing an individual repair. We'll see here shortly. Now, you can see some buildup on the left side of the pipe there, and that's some small roots. You can see the little fine fibrous roots growing alongside there. See the little tiny little pieces there, a little bigger one there. So those are roots intruding. So the rubber boot connection that somebody used for this cast iron to plastic did not hold properly, and or the cast iron might have started to chip or split slightly, and the rubber boot couldn't contain a seal because the cast iron is kind of giving away. So we do have this little small root intrusion that's starting here. You can see some on the right hand side as well. The bigger stuff's growing along the whole left edge. So not seeing a clean out yet. Looks like this is all just straight pipe so far. Here we have turn or T-junction on the line. Yeah, it looks like a turn, and they used a T to do that. And then we go back to cast iron. So they may have used that T just for a turn, but they also might have extended it vertically for a clean out. Again, not seeing anything under the by the synthetic grass that's here. We'll have to locate these areas and see where these are at. Now here we're going back to the cast iron, so it's possible that somebody hit the pipe, or they were digging up the yard at one time and had to do this. We just don't know. So a little bit of heavy buildup right there in the line, but again, nothing too severe that requires any type of cleaning at this time. But a little bit more heavier mounding, as you can see in this cast iron right here, than the first section. A little bit more buildup of scale and deposits. Still not terrible though, completely functional. Okay, and we've now changed into clay pipe, it appears. So we're going to have these junctions every 4 feet. The pipe is now smooth, and got a little bit of standing water right here. We'll see if it's due to a blockage, some buildup, or maybe it's just the pipe wasn't put in properly when it was constructed, when the neighborhood was put in. We'll see here shortly. Still in the water. Coming out. So it looks like it's just the way the pipe was put in. Also because of the pipe could have been undermined, could have been washed out underneath, and it kind of sank a little bit even after it was installed. That's always a possibility. But the clay pipe so far is clear, which is good. Normally we have a lot of issues with roots intruding into the clay, and we're not finding that here. Now it's getting a little difficult to push out. We may have to go turn some water on to help push this cable and reduce the friction. So we're out almost past 90 feet from the top of the vertical here. So we're going to go ahead and pause and go start running some water to get the rest of the way out, which shouldn't be too much further to get out to the middle of the cul-de-sac, hopefully where the city line, this lateral ends. Okay, so we have the downstairs lavatory sink running, the upstairs tub, which we also should just mention on the video. We're not going to show it, but the tub is missing its crosshair strainer as well. So just like the laundry sink, it is a full opening. So a chunk of soap, a bottle cap, razor, anything could fall down that bathtub and really cause a big issue. So that needs to be corrected, just like the laundry drain opening. So got this water running right now. We're just going to push. We may not see too much, but while the water's running, we want to push all the way out, and then we'll pull back. Okay, looks like we just passed the city, and we actually think we just saw some more roots intruding. Yes, we've got more roots right here, as you can see. So we push back all the way out to the city here one more time. So this is the T-junction, the end of this lateral. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video while we shut the water off. Okay, so we shut the water off, so we're going to start pulling back here. So again, here's these roots intruding in the line. These are still the homeowner's responsibility. So we're underwater right here. We stopped the water running. It looks like we just have another spot where the line just doesn't have great perfect fall or pitch. So again, these are small roots right now, very fine, growing along the side edges, but if they do get worse, you're going to need an access point. So this property has no sewer cleanouts. You can't really pull a toilet from in the house and clean this out. That's not going to do anything. So we're going to obviously locate these roots. The other plastic repair, which also has roots anyway, and the other T-junction, which we mentioned, may be a two-way clean out. We're going to mark all those at the ground level because at one of these spots, either the two-way junction or the ABS repair that was already done, where there's some other roots, that's going to need to be dug up and really a clean out installed for access to at ground level to maintain this line and or clean it out if it ever backs up. So we're going to pause and locate and see where this is at in the street. Okay, we've located this root intrusion, which again is the homeowner's responsibility to maintain. It is under the city street, but it is their individual lateral line, and it is their responsibility to clean out the pipe and maintain it. And only time the city will get involved is the city of San Diego if they get filed a plumber's report from a licensed plumbing company, and they cannot clear a line, and or if the line is broken or collapsed and a video is provided, then the city would get involved. I don't think that's ever going to happen here anyway. We just want to go over what the code is and what the law is in San Diego. So again, small roots right now, may get bigger, so might need to be able to maintain them. You can see it's actually some small roots here as well, lining the pipe at this junction as well. So just a few feet back from there, we have this essentially second to last root intrusion there. And that was what we could not see because we had to run water initially to get pushed out that far. Now we're coming back up to about the 93-foot mark here or so, which is where we initially stopped before we had to run that water. So we're going to go ahead and pull back here relatively quickly because we've seen all this already. So all this clay pipe under the street is in good condition. Just a little bit of a sag or belly to the line right here, which again, not a big deal, nothing to worry about. Not going to be able to be corrected, but this is another reason why you do want to have these cleanouts for the root maintenance, but also if the line backs up because things slow down in this sag or belly, you need to be able to get at it and clean the pipe out. Either a hydrojetter, a snake, or a sectional machine. Okay, we're now back into the original cast iron, and now here we're back into the ABS. So here's this turn right here, which I believe might be the original property line clean out area for the house, which would be just in front of the sidewalk typically. And then as we come back right here, we're going to pull back to this root intrusion. So here's where we have our first root intrusion. So we're right at about 57 feet or so from the rooftop. I'm going to push back forward again. And this T-junction here is about 63 feet, so 6 feet away approximately, to where that T might be for a clean out. We just don't know. It's laying on its side. But we do have these roots intruding here, so we're going to go ahead and set our camera here in the plastic. We're going to go ahead and pause and locate. Okay, so we've located this transition from cast iron to ABS that was repaired at one time. It is in the front yard, right about the middle of the front yard. The pipe is 28 inches deep, so it's about 2 feet 4 inches deep, and it's about 6 feet in front of the sidewalk. So as we go forward, that T-junction we saw was the turn where there was an original property line T-junction clean out. So again, they may have extended it partially up to the surface, but that clean out would only access the 2 root intrusions that are in the street. This first intrusion, which is again, there's 3 root intrusions, this intrusion right here would not be able to be maintained by the clean out that's farther in advance of this, so exposing it really won't do much. So this would again need to be dug up and repaired, and or can be maintained because it's under the synthetic grass and all the layers that are put down. They may not want to dig this up. So now what we're going to do though is we're going to go ahead and pull all the way back. Same thing, we've seen all this. We're going to pull back relatively quickly here. We're going to pull back to about that 25-foot mark where we're hoping that the T-junction we see in the line is a 2-way clean out that could be possibly exposed under the bushes or brick area of the driveway. So we're coming back up to this shortly here. There we go. It's right there. We're going to park our camera right here. We're going to go ahead and pause and locate. Okay, so we've located this piece and it's literally at the foundation wall. Now we turned the water on for the lav sink because we wanted to verify that that was not somehow the vertical dump in for the downstairs bathroom sink, and it's not. As you can see, the water's still coming from back here. So this is literally though right on the edge of the house, this foundation wall and the footing there. So some brick might have been added, but we're right literally on the edge. The pipe is a little over 2 feet deep. It's right next to the water main coming up out of the ground as well, and then you've only got an inch or two just away, and then you're already at the concrete walkway by the door entrance. So not very much room for digging. Would be extremely complicated to get down to this depth because it's probably not extended at all, unfortunately, to really get this exposed and brought up to surface. So it could be attempted, just not going to be very easy. I can run into a lot of issues with the water line in the way and the other brick and concrete that is so close. So we will pull the camera down to show this. So that's the condition of this system, and that concludes this recording.